Aloha shifters! Once again, this is Brendan. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for starting another week. If you're watching this on the Monday, the moon day, welcome to a daily tarot draw, daily little paradigm shift broadcast that we do here to create a little spiritual routine to be able to listen, to be able to create a space to open communication with the universe, to see what the universe might have to share with us this time. So, thank you again. Cheers, and we'll give this a minute for other people to join, and if you are joining this live in the moment, please feel free to share this with your friends. This is the third daily tarot draw thing that we've done at 9:06 a.m. And so the way how we're doing this is the deck that we're going to be using, and it is the Ananda Tarot deck. I know the text is going to be backwards for you and everything, but it's the Ananda Tarot deck if you're interested. And again, what we're going to be doing, we're literally just going to be doing one pull, one card. And so within this is really cool because through the power, and I've explained this before and I'll just explain real quickly because we're always going to have new people, and again, if you guys are sharing this as we're going, thank you so much. Through the opportunity of symbols, through the power of symbols, the universe can communicate to itself messages. And so in this case, what we're doing is we're like quantifying the deck, and then we're going to pull out one card, and then that card is going to be like the synchronistic message that the universe has, in a way, chosen for us to see today. It has chosen for us to listen to today. So out of the message that we get from the one card, there's going to be like a little observation. There's going to be a little tip, a little hint to keep in mind as we move forward through the day. So I'm going to pull the card in the next minute, and thank you so much everyone for joining in on this, for all your support. And we'll just give you guys one more chance moving forward, or just another chance moving forward to share this with your friends. And we're about to do this, and of course these are recorded and everything, so shout out to everyone watching this whenever you are. And so we'll pull the card, and just as we do, I just want to show you guys, these are the new UV purple Light Guardian pendants. These ones are more so just something I'm kind of showing off until I get more UV, but eventually there will be more UV or purple variations. Right now I only have 2 of those, whereas the common are the blue, which you guys have seen before. And of course, you guys can message if you're interested in those as well. So let me pull the card here. So just inviting you guys to check in and just take a breath here. So just even like a short moment of oneness to clear our minds, to allow us to empty our cup, and to allow us to receive whatever the universe has for us moving forward into another awesome week. So just inviting you to just chill out, just take a couple breaths here in silence, moment of oneness. Awesome. Okay. So we'll go through this, pull this card. I'm just going to charge it just a little bit more, and then I'll read it to you, and then we'll talk about it a little bit as we go through this. So, all right, deck is charged. Okay, guys. So inviting you to enjoy and to join in this process of picking. So. You guys say when. I'll look for it in the comments. Say when in the comments. Alright, I'm gonna pinch it here. When. There it is. Awesome, good job guys. Alright, so the card that we have for today is the Empress. Wow, we've been getting some like big cards. So we had the Knight of Swords, And was it the Princess? Was it the Princess of Cups? I feel like it might have been the Princess of Cups. So the Empress. So this is like a really potent card. So we're gonna read this, and again, like whether it's like one of like the whether it's one of like the cards that is like the, I want to say not just suit cards. I have like a better name for them. I should know this. But anyways, when it's one of like the main cards, like the ones like the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Lovers, Justice, the Hermit. The other cards in comparison are like no less important. It's really just like what you need to hear in the moment. So there's the Empress and there's also the Emperor, which is another card. So moving forward, guys, again, thank you so much for joining. Please feel free to share this, and this is broadcasting a message from the universe to all the shifters out there, to all the people tuning into this. Here's a little information and insight. The Empress. The image. Apparently above all earthly things, and yet holding the fertile landscape in her lap, the devoted being of the essence of femininity extends far beyond her own boundaries. Meaning, so you can just kind of like chill out, just kind of like listen to this and stuff like that, you know, just even close your eyes. Meaning, from the connection with the pair of opposites, the mind is realized by projecting its expression through the essence of the soul. What up to now has existed as an idea and took on form through the power of fantasy now becomes factual as a manifestation of material reality. So I'm just going to reread some main parts. What up to now has existed as an idea and took form through the power of fantasy now becomes factual as a manifestation of material reality. The mystery of life, which expresses itself through the manifold, constantly renewing forms of life, manifests in every single being as well as the entirety of all the displays of nature, be it the microbe or galaxy. Everything that exists independent of its form is an expression of the same life. I'm going to reread that. Everything that exists independent of its form is an expression of one and the same life. As the human being tries to be authentic through the personification of her original inner truth, she manages to transform from creature to fundamental essence. The same power which serves nature reveals itself in inexhaustible richness in a variety of life forms, lies dormant as a creative potential in everyone. That's important. Let me reread that. The same power which serves nature and reveals itself as inexhaustible richness in a variety of life forms lies dormant as a creative potential in everyone. So we'll go back to that point. In the individual, it is revealed as adaptability, inventiveness, or creative expression, the irresistible charm of nature as presented in the colors and forms of flourishing life, practices its individual pull on various creatures, with the goal of nurturing the current of life with fertility and growth. I'm going to reread that. The irresistible charm of nature as presented in the colors and forms of flourishing life practices its individual pull on various creatures, with the goal of nurturing the current of life with fertility and growth. In spite of all the magic and the enticement that the elegance of the blossoming life exudes, it also contains the consciousness, page flip, of the constant presence of the eternal circle of birth and death, as well as the necessity of bearing the consequences that the endless cycle brings. Astrological clarification, Moon, Venus, Taurus, keywords, creative potential, anima, sensibility, adaptability, artistic expression, creative effect, development, courage, naturalness, embodiment of the inner truth, embodiment of the inner being, truth, life-affirming attitude, planetary consciousness, cultivation. Traditional meaning: fertility, growth, female power, sensitivity, connection to the earth, power of nature, new birth, beauty, female attraction, seduction, and maternal. All right, guys, so that's the Empress there. As you guys are watching this live or in the future, please feel free to leave your comments and thoughts. Some things that really stood out to me. So this card is reminding us of a couple things. One thing that really stood out to me is the idea of this sentence here. This same power which serves nature and reveals itself as inexhaustible richness in a variety of life forms lies dormant as a creative potential in everyone. So what's really interesting here is that this is reminding us, at the very least, that like when we look out at nature, when we look out at like the unfolding fractal patterns, the way a tree grows, the way, the way like a seed will burst itself up through the pavement as a beautiful example, even just the way how like light bends and sunsets, all of these amazing things that we see within nature through the spectacles of nature are part of the same process in which our thoughts unfold as well. So I think this card for me is reminding us to really give credit and credence to our thought process, to really acknowledge that our thought process in itself is like this very like fractal unfolding process of nature. It is like literally like a blossoming field of flowers in every microsecond. Like you have a thought, it's like poof, things booming into creation, yet it happens so fast that I think we overlook the magnificence of it. So every time that you're like thinking a sentence, you're thinking a new idea, you're thinking an intention, you're like growing a forest in your mind, if you can think about it that way. And really understanding that like the thoughts and the minds and what we are different from nature. They're the same process. And so in the individual, it is revealed as adaptability, inventiveness, or creative expression. So again, we get into this theme of adaptability that's come up before in the Knight of Swords. And inventiveness. So I mean, in the same way you look at, again, a forest, look at all the dynamic diversity in it. Think of your mind as like that same place ripe with potential, right? Like you could have like 1,000 different flowers and they could all be different. You could have 1,000,000 different thoughts and they could all be different. Each thought is going to change. Each thought is going to be unique. Each thought is going to be its own expression of a divine Mandela fractal based on your present moment. And that's an interesting idea in itself, just to sort of play with that. Can you really think the same thought twice? Is the same thought ever happening twice? Or does it change because we change in every moment? The forests change, therefore the elements within the forest slightly change. So that's just kind of like an interesting idea to play around with. But again, try working with that visual imagery of literally your thoughts having this Empress female type energy of a blossoming flower, of a blossoming forest. So as you're thinking things into existence, you're growing a forest in your mind, a forest of ideas, a forest of potential. So it's really just bringing back empowerment, bringing back magic into our process as creators. And so even from the beginning, this is saying, this is about making fantasy into reality. What up to now has existed as an idea and took the form through the power of fantasy now becomes factual as a manifestation of material reality. So really checking in with like your connection to your thoughts, your connection to what it is that you are planting with your thoughts. So not only are our thoughts the forest, but they're also the seeds. And so they grow within our mind. We see those. But then as we're thinking them, we're kind of like spreading them into the material world as well. And as we continue to nurture them, they will continue to grow. It's really a very basic idea that what you care about will grow. And if you stop caring about something, you take away its nurture, you take away its sunlight, you take away its water, it prevents it from growing. But essentially, whatever you care about will continue to grow in that sense. And so keep in mind though, this is like not too far off the stream, off the main path, but ignoring something doesn't mean that it will grow. or ignoring something doesn't mean that it will not grow. Ignorance is not the same as not caring about something, because like sometimes you have to like look at the things that you don't want in order to help them transform, opposed to just thinking that like, oh, okay, if only things I grow about, if only things I care about will grow, then I'll just ignore something and then that should make it go away. Not necessarily. Ignorance doesn't make things always go away. So whether that be like the horrors of the world, or whether that be like someone in your personal life that you have to like have a conversation with, or whether it be like responsibilities that you have to deal with, just be aware of the idea of like sometimes like, yeah, like caring can not only grow something, but it can also transform it. Ignoring something may not necessarily mean that it doesn't go away. So really bringing in the role of like being the gardeners of our own minds, and being the stewards and being the co-creators of like the garden of our mind, you know? So realizing that our mind is a garden and we are the gardener. So that's an interesting idea in itself, sort of separating the idea that you are not necessarily your thoughts. You are the gardener that is fostering your thoughts in that sense. So like, even as a thought comes through, a thought may come rolling through. It may come through like, it could be like, you know, like a log, like rolling down a hill or something like that. That isn't necessarily always your thought. You can choose to like stop that log and to grow some moss on it and grow some leaves on it. And at the same time, that log can just keep on rolling through. And so recognizing that like when stuff shows up in your forest, you don't always have to take like full 100% ownership of it. Things kind of come and go through the forest in a very magical way. Animals will kind of go through the forest. They may not necessarily like be like belonging to the forest. So it's this basic idea that going back to responsibility of your thoughts, going back to the idea of like realizing that you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of your thoughts. You are the gardener of your garden, and your thoughts are your garden. So which thoughts do you want to foster? Which thoughts do you want to care about? Pick and choose. And that's the idea, is that you start creating like a very beautiful tapestry. I always think of thoughts as swimming through the mind. I guess my mind is an ocean. Kaya, yes, very good example. Yeah, there's lots of ways you can think about it. You can think of it like you're underneath the water, and like a thought is like a fish swimming by, and you can choose to like reach out and grab that fish. But at the same time, if you don't, that fish will swim by. That thought will come and go. So you can observe that. Observe your thoughts coming and going. And so if you have like a negative thought come in, don't always get like super upset about yourself. You can observe it coming through and then practice letting it go, kind of thing. So there's a little bit of a distinction, because sometimes people, very commonly for humans, will have a thought come through and we'll get like upset at ourselves for having that thought. But sometimes that thought is coming through in order for us to be able to practice letting go of it. And that can be like a self-defeating thought. That can be like a thought of judgment. That can be a thought of jealousy or something like that. You know, you can observe it. How much you choose to hold on to it is what you as the gardener is doing. So, the same power which serves nature and reveals itself as inexhaustible richness in a variety of life forms lies dormant as a creative potential in everyone. So this is a really powerful card, and again, it's reminding us to like connect with like the feminine energy of nature, of Mother Earth, of creation, and going out there and being aware of like what seeds we are planting with our thoughts, how we are growing things, and how we have the ability to take things from thought into reality. So there's a lot of common themes within the cards that relate to manifesting thought. And so this is just a nice little reminder that go out there, go spend time with nature, and allow that to invite you to understand more about how your own creation process is very much a mirror of it as well. Sweet. And Cody's just saying in the comments, and says, we attract to ourselves what we don't want, because when we say I don't want, the universe only hears I want. Yeah, that's another little tidbit. I feel like more people are becoming aware of that, but the idea that the universe doesn't recognize nots and don'ts. So instead of saying like I don't want this, you can ask what you do want instead, because it doesn't hear don't, so therefore it will bring you what you say you don't want. So a simple example would be, Instead of saying, I don't want to be sick, you say, I want to be healthy. Turn it into a positive affirmation. That's like another little hack that can help in terms of your manifestation as well. So weed out the knots. Weed out the knots within your thought stream, within your garden. And that's an interesting way of thinking that too, because we think of knots as like, you have like a fluid rope and then suddenly you get a knot in it. You get something that's like stuck in it or something, right? So the knots in our thought process can be thought of in a similar way, right? It's just like nice and smooth, then boom, there's a knot in there. It's just like, oh, but you can untie that. You can release it. So there you go. Sweet, guys. That's, let me just scan this again real quick. As the human being tries to be authentic through the personification of her original inner truth, she manages to transform from creature to fundamental essence. So again, connecting with your authenticity as a multidimensional creature, creator, being, part of the universe. Do that. Really inviting you guys to do that, and really we're just reminding you guys that you already are that you are, like, inside of you there is like this authentic part of the universe, and that is what we are remembering. That is what we are waking up to, and in the process of doing that, that is where we wake up to our potential and our ability to help co-create a better dream together, to co-create a very, very magical dream, which is what we are doing right now. So every day, every moment, much love. Sweet, guys. So there's the Empress card. I'm gonna put that one down, and we'll take another moment here to close off the meditation, just with close this off just with a very short meditation. So again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. And just as like a quick shout out as we do this, here's the again, the Light Guardian pendants. These are available for a pay what you ask price between $30 and $60. And if you let me know soon, I'll be able to get them out to you guys in time for Christmas. And yes, they can be like turned on and off very easily. And so the primary ones that I have are blues, reds, and greens. I'm just showing you the UV one so that you know a reference for it, but I'll be aiming to get more UV in the future. But I do have plenty of blues and greens and reds available. And you can always replace the color manually on your end. And the batteries are replaceable, and they're very easy to use. And of course, reminding you guys that you can sign up for the team Patreon to get your Shifter Booster Kit and to add your support to the ongoing evolution of the Paradigm Shift Project. Here's a couple examples of the buttons. You got your Flower of Life, you got your Ouroboros, got your Paradigm Shift Sigil. What other ones do I got within reach? Got Pinecone type Spiral Sacred Geometry, and you got a sweet looking Triforce there as well. So when you sign up for the Team Patreon for as little as $3 to $5 a month, that gets you the Shifter Booster Kit, and that adds your support to the ongoing evolution of the Paradigm Shift Central Project, which is something for the entire community, and which myself as the director works on as a full-time like job, 24/7 type thing. So thank you guys so much again for your support, for making this possible. In terms of other news, this Thursday coming up, we have the team broadcast for Paradigm Shift Destiny School, and that topic is going to be on the topic of conscious themes within movies and media. So that's a very, very exciting topic for me personally. I'm actually, again, just as more like behind the scenes, this day I'm going to be working on the conscious movie review for Doctor Strange, as well as doing some packaging for the Shifter Booster Kits, and we're going to be getting out all of the remaining Shifter Booster Kits this week. So if you're waiting on yours, thank you so much for your patience, and that is on its way. And again, signing up for the team Patreon at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton, the links in this video info, will be able to get your Shifter Booster Kit and gets you discounts on future Shift Button orders. So it's a very awesome sacred form of commerce that we have created here as a team that allows this project to keep evolving and allows all these awesome broadcasts to keep happening. So thank you guys so much, and again, check out the main website at paradigmshiftcentral.com, and there you can even sign up to create your own Shifter profile and to be able to create your own quest journals and to practice documenting the shift in consciousness from your perspective. And there's lots more awesome stuff happening within the evolution of this project, and I'll explain more to you as we go along. So again, feel free to message me anytime, and as you guys are watching this, drop some 1111s to show that you're tuned in. And if you want people to connect with your profile, leave a 555 in the comments and your location if you want. And anybody that you see with a 555 in the comments, they're basically saying, hey, feel free to add me. So Feel free to put your 555 if you want to make some new friends, and feel free to add anybody who leaves a 555. So there you go, guys. This has been another 906 tarot draw to start your day, and as always, you can share this video with your friends and tune in again. I'm going to upload some of these to YouTube, so join my YouTube at youtube.com/SkullBabylon if you haven't yet. And with that said, yeah, have an awesome day, guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much. And again, please feel free to message me anytime. Happy Moon Day. Let's start this week off with some awesome creation, bringing in some amazing fertility into the gardens that we are growing within our minds. And I'll just conclude this by inviting you guys to join me in a moment of oneness meditation. So wherever you guys are right now, just take a moment here to just relax, straighten out your back, relax your shoulders, and just go into a deep 2-breath moment of oneness. So when you're ready, relax, connect in silence, and just be here for a moment. Awesome. So let the branches of your thought unfold into the places that we have been always told exist beyond the reaches of our infinite thought, exist in every moment, relative to what we got, to what we have, to what we need, to all that can ever be. So plant the seeds of your fantasy, and into reality they will grow so that you can see and be and know that it is, always has been, and always will be infinite love. So much love to you guys. I love you. Have an awesome day. Keep it shifty. Let this little download from the universe continue to inspire you on your mission to go out there to change the world, to help continue to shift those paradigms, to do the inner work, which reflects outwards. So grow some awesome gardens in here, grow some awesome gardens out there, and it all starts right here. Mind-heart combo. So much love, guys. Until next time, join in again tomorrow, Tuesday, for another 906 paradigm 906 tarot draw broadcast. And yes, I love you guys so much. Have a great day. Keep it shifty, and much love. Peace.